guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and we are revisiting one of their giveaway cars. This is their 2019 Subaru S209. But before we get into this rare car, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with it. So Dream Giveaway Garage has this giveaway. You could win the chance to get this very car. Why is it such a special car? Think about it. Subaru. So many World Championship wins, so many World Championships, and so many great drivers, from Petter Solberg to Colin McRae. Really that Japanese brand that put a name for itself when it comes to their all-wheel drive capability. Now, the S model cars have been unique because they've only been sold in Japan. They've never been available here in the United States. And this S209, being the first time that we have the car, it's extra special. They're only making 209 of them. It's hand assembled at the STI facility. So this car, actually on the window sticker, is not from Subaru America. It's from STI. Had to go through totally separate crash tests, emissions tests, and everything else, but it shows what Subaru wanted to do. They wanted to bring the car, the first S car, to the United States and make it super special. So let's go ahead, dive into this S209, find out why it is the ultimate, the perfect Subaru of all time. Right off the bat, the unmistakable lines of a WRX STI. So this car starts off as a WRX STI, and then they add extra performance. You're gonna notice at the front of the business, this vehicle is almost 2 inches wider than a standard STI. The addition of the fender flares, you have your canards on the side. Those are aerodynamic aids to give you downforce. This car does have more horsepower than your standard STI, but that's only the beginning of it. It's all about fine-tuning the whole instrument to produce a symphony like none other. But one thing I want to point out is that these canards flow nicely into the actual fender flares. The top portion of the fender flare is actually built into the fender. It's all one-piece metal. This has been added on. Just goes to show the special pieces that they made for this very special car. Now, you do have two air intakes, one on each corner. This is a functional piece. You got a little bit of chrome trim that, you know what, at the beginning I zonked it. I'm taking it back. I'm taking that zonk back. Gives a nice little extra touch. Love the horizontal slots here and your nice grate over your air intake. You work your way down. Of course, you're gonna get your STI front splitter, already ready to rock and roll. And then up top, you're getting full LED headlights, the adaptive kind that's turned with the steering wheel to illuminate whatever's in front of you. Now, as we come across the grille section, you'll see the addition of that cherry blossom color. This color is unique to the whole STI performance brand, really pops. It's interesting because over the years it's kind of changed color, but I'm glad it's back to that bright pink color. S, very, very special badge. S209, you're not gonna see WRX anywhere on here. You're not gonna see an STI badge on the grille. You get your S badge. And obviously, like I said, early 2000s, this started with S201, 202, so on and so forth. We get the best one. Love this carbon metallic black that they put on the grille. You work your way down. Everything else is flat black. And then there's that front splitter from one side to the other. When we get up onto the hood, one thing I want to point out, besides the massive air intake, is that this is a functional piece. This color, I know we always like to think of Subaru as World Rally Blue. That's what everybody thinks of. But when it comes to their S models, it's actually crystal white pearl, which is the signifying color of the S brand of cars from Subaru. Now, as we come around the bend, here's what I was telling you about. So this is plastic. This is actually metal. This is all one unique fender for the S209. You have a functional side air vent here. This is not on a WRX or an STI. We work our way down. You get the perfect gold colored forged BBS wheels. So these are forged, which means they're lighter than cast aluminum and they're stronger. They're actually a little bit wider. So they're a ½ an inch wider. And that's why you need the fender flares to keep everything tucked in. So it's 19" by 9, massive 6-piston calipers. They look like the hammer off of Thor's hammer. And then if you notice, I'm gonna have Tom kind of zoom in. You see the bright cherry blossom pink on there? Those are STI specific brake pads only available on the S209. Now, the sad news is there's a lot underneath all this sheet metal that you cannot see that is specific to the S209. Springs, bright pink, have been designed for this car. This car actually sits a little bit lower than your standard STI. You're gonna have thicker anti-sway bars. You're gonna have different chassis stiffening devices from front to back to make this STI, or I should say S209, turn on a dime. Now, as you come into the fender, I love the fender treatment here, that S209 badge. There's your Subaru Technica International. The way that flares out, you got your metallic black mirror caps, carbon fiber roof. So just like the Type RA, you have a carbon fiber roof that sheds 8 pounds of weight, lowers your center of gravity, and believe it or not, you actually get less flex out of this car because of the carbon fiber roof. Down below, you're gonna get the STI side sill extension. Love the way it's got the STI badge on each of the pieces, up front and on the side. Dream Giveaway Garage added the red trim, and I think that actually pops very, very nicely. I personally would have went the brighter pink color, but the red really just gives it that little extra something. As we keep working our way back, you can see how they actually took that fender flare, put it on the door, and then on the actual fender itself, we drop down, and this is what we're working with at the back end of the business. You're getting those cross drill rotors up front, just out back, just like you did up front. And like I said, there's chassis stiffening braces at the back to also balance this whole thing out. And then when we get to the rear, you have your functional aerodynamic ducts on the side. Love the way the fender flare, they kind of cut everything out and put this in. And remember, most of this car is hand assembled. Carbon fiber rear spoiler. Now what's interesting, this is not the same rear wing off the Type RA. It's a little bit different. The end plates have a different design. The great news is it's still two-way positionable, give you less or more downforce. We get to the back, you're gonna have your S209 badge. This comes specifically from STI. So normally over here it would say Subaru, it would say symmetrical all-wheel drive. You don't get any of that. You get the STI badge because, like I said, they build the frame at the Subaru factory, they then wheel it over to the STI factory so everything gets hand assembled. We drop down, everything is gonna be the same as your Subaru WRX or STI on the bumper cover, tail lights, but here's something different, the exhaust. Those were actually made by a Japanese jeweler. They're hand polished, they're a little bit larger, and guess what? Freer flowing, so you're gonna have less restriction as those exhaust gases come out the back, but super clean. Always have loved the rear diffuser, and of course you get the rear end plates as well on the sides. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's making extra power out of this S209. All right guys, we got the hood pop. You do have hydraulic hood struts. There's the functional opening, and you see this tubing right here? That's for the intercooler sprayer. So we have the return of the intercooler sprayer. The last time that was seen on an STI was all the way back in 2007. Underneath the hood, you're still working with that EJ motor. It's that 2.5 liter flat 4 turbocharged engine. The good news is you now have a larger HKS turbo, an upgraded fuel pump, larger injectors, remapped ECU, lightweight flywheel, a totally redesigned intake, that low restriction exhaust I was talking about. At the end of the day, 341 horsepower, 330 pound-feet of torque, MPGs, 15 in the city, 21 on the highway. It just goes to show that it's all about that fine tuning. I love on the engine compartment, you can see that STI specific strut tower brace. You also can see your intake plenum, clear as day. Here's that totally revised intake. So this is all unique to the S209. You even have a badge underneath to tell you that this is number 153 of 209 examples. Such a special car, and like I said, hand assembled at the STI factory. That's what you're paying for. Everybody wants to say $65,000, that's out of this world. Well, guess what? This is a hand assembled car with very special pieces that you just can't get on any STI. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Subaru S209. Like I pointed out, price for this MSRP is $63,999. You can win this though through Dream Giveaway Garage. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, what they do on the S209 is you see that Alcantara with the white contrast stitching. That is unique to this model. You have it on the armrest, a little bit of gloss black, and then you have a pocket down there for a couple sushi rolls and some ginseng water to wash it all down. Now, when you get to the dash, this is unique, obviously, to the S209. You get the cherry blossom color in here with the S209 badge. You have the stitch work, all the same on the hood. We drop our way down. Infotainment system is very basic. That's not what this car is about, but you do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that bright red STI start stop button. Very, very nice touch. You got your dual climate control, plus that gauge cluster up there is really nice because you have your boost gauge, and then you could toggle through a plethora of different information, very easily done. We slide our way down. Guess what? You like egg rolls? You can line up your egg rolls in here. If you don't want to go egg rolls, go Twinkies. Just line up with Twinkies in there. You do have a 12 volt. And then, as you can see, I have the key fob. Now, I'm going to zonk the key fob because it's not an S209 key fob. It's your standard Subaru key fob. Would have been nice to have a really special S209 key fob. But you see the white stitching everywhere? This is cohesive. Your STI badge lights up at night. Even the shift knob. This is an S209 specific part. It's got the STI badge on it. Nice short throw, 6-speed, manual transmission. You got to know how to work that clutch or you're not driving this S209. You got your S209 plate. Tells you once again, number 153 of 209. Your SI drive, 2 cup holders, heated seats, more of that Alcantara with the stitch work, and then these seats, Recaro. Love the STI embroidery, the Recaro name. The black and white is S209 specific. That color goes with it. My only zonk is that we don't get the same cool Recaros like they get in Japan. You do get, though, the floor mats with the S209 badge, and then, of course, the obligatory red seat belts. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this Alcantara wrap steering wheel. Coming over. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel, very, very tasteful S209 sill plates. Love that. Of course, you're going to get the same great pedal layout with all brushed aluminum, real easy to do your heel toe downshifting, and then the steering wheel, Alcantara, the white crisscross stitching. Look at this, it doesn't say, normally this is a Subaru badge, it says STI, comes from STI. Another touch is this guy right here. You see these paddles on the back of the steering wheel? They're not for shifting. These are your intercooler sprayer paddles. So if you're doing a track day, if you're going down your favorite twisty road and it's hot out, pull back on the paddles, you'll squirt some cool water. I'll show you where that water comes from in a second, but you squirt some cool water that'll actually help with boost and giving you more power. Great steering wheel, and then the gauges are spot on the money. I love the backlit LED, the STI badge. You have your digital display in the center for all of your SI drive controls. You have, of course, your differential controls there, real easy to operate. Seating position is great. I just wish there was a little bit more bolstering. For Recaros, this is base STI. They just put a different set of leather on it. This is a little bit more bolstered, but I would like a little bit more. Let's go ahead. I'm not doing the back seat. It's just like any other Subaru STI. Let's get to the trunk because there's some special things in there I want to show you. All right, guys, time to check out the trunk space and to show you some of the nice fancy additions. You just push the button, pops up. One thing I want to point out is when you get an S209, Subaru actually hired a very famous Japanese die-cast model company to build exact replicas of their S209. So they made 209 of them, and they made exactly the right amount for white and blue. When you get the car, you get the model as a thank you gift from Subaru. Just little touches like that. Another thing I want to showcase is you see back here the extra bracing and whatnot. These are extra pieces that have been added by Subaru to help stiffen up the back. The back seat does not have an armrest and it does not fold down at all or anything. That's going to give you more structural rigidity. If you're wondering, well, where do I put the water for the intercooler spray? You're actually going to have to lift up the cargo mat, the cargo liner, and then also the styrofoam piece in there. There is a water tank that you fill up with ice and water, and then you're ready to go. and start spraying your intercooler. But if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's take this S209 for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the S209. Now remember, this vehicle does have 341 horsepower. The standard STI has 310 horsepower, so you got a little bit more, but this isn't about a top speed rocket or anything. But let's go ahead and do an acceleration test here while we have some time. But on throttle, here we go. Second gear. I love the gearbox in these cars. Third gear. So what I notice is that you can feel a little bit extra. Is it gonna be night and day difference? No. But what I did notice is that definitely that tach accelerates at a faster rate, and where it really all is gonna come into play, the big picture, is once you take this down a nice twisty road. That's where you're gonna really understand why you went S209, what all that work STI did is really gonna just hit you in the head like a sledgehammer. All right, guys, on throttle, here we go. Nice, second gear, old school turbo feel. The boost does not come in until about 4,000 RPM. On the brakes, heel toe downshifting away, here we go. Nice, that's where you feel it. It's all in the handling. Really, really tremendous experience. Look at this. All-wheel drive, keeping you planted. Stay so flat through the corners. That's where all that suspension work, the balance, the braking, that's where it really comes into play. And then you have the additional horsepower there as well. You gotta know how to drive one of these to really appreciate it. And this truly is the ultimate Subaru for the right person. This car isn't for everybody, and I'm not trying to say it's for everybody, but definitely I could appreciate what it's about. All right, guys, one more time for you. Here we go. First gear, on throttle. Yeah, love the feeling in this car. That all-wheel drive just keeps you planted, and it corners so flat. Look at this. Love the sound. Really nice. Really nice. Look at this. Look at this. And the corner on throttle. Yeah! This is a driver's car. It's that simple. It's that amazing, and that's why I love it. And that's why I would love to have one of these parked in my garage and drive it, because it is that amazing. The Bilstein dampers have been taken to another level. They fine-tuned them from the Type RA. They added the different springs, the bracing. It just all comes together. It all comes together. All right, guys, one more time for you. Here we go, on throttle. Love this car. Here we go. Nice, watch this. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Yeah! The back end just came off a little bit to allow me to square that corner, and it was like heaven. It was all-wheel drive heaven going through that turn. But I'm this close to taking this car and driving it home, so we need to get back to Dream Giveaway Garage ASAP. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys. It's been another wonderful day here at the Dream Giveaway Garage. I definitely got to thank Lori, Blake, Boomer, Chris, getting us access once again to their S209. Remember, you could win this. The link is in the description. Why does this car cost so much? Is it really that special? Yes, 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 yes. It does cost a lot of money, but you know what? For somebody who wants a Subaru WRX STI that is hand assembled and has special pieces that you're just not gonna get anywhere else. Yes, you could go buy an STI and make it faster, make it more outrageous on looks or whatever, but it's still not an S209. Only 209 of those. Plus you get the model. That to me is just the cherry on top. But if it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to get it to Big Guns McGee. He's loving this S209. He wants to add one to his garage. So we'll see, Tom. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.